As we've noted in the course of Kabbalat Shabbat, the Psalms that help us transition to receive Shabbat, the image of anticipation is that of a bride, a queen, a woman we long to welcome into our midst. That image of the longing for the feminine feels like a theme worthy of celebrating even more as a conscious act on this, the Shabbat of a holy weekend, that of the holiday of Mother's Day. And before I share a little teaching about the praise of the mother, I want to dedicate the words I share to a woman that I am exceedingly grateful to, and that is Sylvia Kaplan, who is my mother-in-law. I am exceedingly grateful to her because without her I wouldn't have my beloved Linda, and in the years, the 33 plus years we've been married, my mother-in-law has always been such a source of happiness and support for me and for our whole family. So tonight in particular, I have Sylvia on my mind, who is sadly dealing with some serious health issues, and all the more precious as I think of her tonight. Every Friday night, around the Shabbat table, it was customary for the husband and the children to sing a song extolling the mother. That's right, every Friday night was Mother's Day, in part. Now, admittedly, in a more traditional mode, the mother was the one who did all the work to prepare for that meal. And it was appropriate to have the opportunity to say thank you. But it was more than that. It was, as is the nature of Shabbat, an opportunity to pause and have perspective, the bigger picture of what are the values and who are the people that count the most. And in that regard, around the dinner table, the song that was sung is the final chapter of Proverbs, Eshet Chayil Miyimsa, a woman of valor who can find. Berachok mipni michra, far beyond rubies is her worth. I will add that the word chayil, a woman of valor, is translated in many other ways. In our Lev Shalem, it's translated as a woman of many talents. The translation that I have, it's a capable woman. But literally, a chayil is also a soldier. And so, Eshet Chayil, a soldier woman, strong, able to defend and do, who can find. Greater, more precious is she than rubies. I'd like to read the traditional, and since it's done on Friday night in honor of our wives and mothers, and it reads as follows. Would that one finds a woman of many talents! Exclamation. Far beyond rubies is her worth. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he never lacks for luxuries. She does him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She seeks out flax and wool and works them as she wills. She is like a merchant's fleet bringing food from afar. She rises while it is still night, preparing meals for her children and daily fare for her helpers. She surveys a field and acquires it, plants a vineyard, fruit of her handiwork. She girds her loins with might, braces her shoulders for the tasks ahead. She ensures that her business goes well, not putting out her lamp at night. Her hand trains the distaff, her fist supports the spindle, her palm is open to the poor. Let her hand extended to the needy. When it snows, she does not worry for her children, for all her children are dressed in red wool. She sews colorful garments with which to dress herself, of white linen with crimson thread. Her husband is well known at the gates. He sits with the leaders of the land. She weaves sheets of cloth for sale and stocks sashes with brokers. She is dressed in strength and splendor. She smiles as she looks to the future. She opens her mouth and speaks wisely. Her tongue teaches kindness and love. She anticipates the comings and goings of her household and never eats the bread of idleness. Her children mature and make her happy. Her husband praises her. Quote, "Many women have acted with strength, but you exceed them all," unquote. Charm is deceptive, beauty is passing, but a woman in awe of God is surely to be praised. Extol her for her handiwork and praise her in the gates for all she has done. Now, this is a description of an ideal woman written 2,500 to 3,000 years ago. It's clearly an agricultural setting where the woman had to weave her own and make her own clothes and dress her children. And I love that line, the one about how she is like a merchant's fleet bringing food from afar. Somebody teased about some Jewish mothers and wives that they've prepared for the pandemic their whole life in terms of being well-stocked. So this ideal woman, like a merchant, ship-bringing, providing. It's, in many ways, it's a stretch because it's another time and another place. It's an agricultural setting where there weren't the stores to go shopping. And so we pause to appreciate the second part of these words of praise. I always pause over sheker hachen vehevel hayofi. Charm can be a lie, and beauty can be fleeting. People, when you live with them, you know them well. Isha yirat Adonai, we know the character of our mothers and our wives, knowing that all of us are incomplete. Isha yirat Adonai hi titalal. But a woman of character, one who is in awe of God, she is to be praised. Extol her for all her handiwork. Praise her in the gates for all she has done. I want to just add a shorter Eshet Chayil by my chavruta, my beloved study partner, Bradley Shavit Artson, which he calls Eshet Chayil, a modern version. Eshet Chayil, warrior woman. But which woman isn't? Lifting the burden of gendered expectation, smiling during athletic workouts, dancing backwards, multitasking relationships, work, life. I don't know a woman who isn't a champion. To each of you, partnered or not, parent or not, professional or not, gratitude for the life you share, for the love you mobilize, for the gaze of understanding, sympathy, encouragement, for being you, inspiration, soul poet, life warrior, hallelujah, you. Ribbon Shalom, Master of the universe, may all our mothers know how appreciated we are for all they do. Our own mothers, our mothers-in-law, our wives, our sisters, all who have given birth with the hope of another generation, a generation that the mothers have nurtured with love and care and hope. May we all live up to their care and love, and may they know how much we love them. Amen.